So every couple of months, we get somebody proposing legislation in the House or legislation in the Senate to ban members of Congress from trading stocks. And the efforts have, of course, been bipartisan. At one point, the two biggest people working on this were AOC and Matt Gaetz together. So this is one issue that actually has brought people from across the aisle to work together. And this week, it just so happened to be Republican Senator Josh Hawley's turn. Now, Hawley, of course, a few days before this had put forth his legislation to give Trump voters $600 apiece, but not to Biden voters. Let's just give Trump voters $600. But then he actually came up with good legislation. We're going to bar members of Congress from owning and trading stocks. Perfect. I love it. No notes. So it's in the Senate committee. Hawley, along with all of the Democrats on the committee, voted to advance it to the full Senate floor. So we're still awaiting that vote, by the way, but they made it. Hawley was the only Republican on that committee that voted in favor of advancing, this legislation. So Hawley then was speaking to reporters after they did this little committee vote, and he mentioned something very interesting. Hawley told the reporters that, last night I got a call from Donald Trump, and Trump was pissed off because he thought this legislation meant that he would also have to divest from his investments. Specifically, Hawley said Trump was worried he was going to have to sell Mar-a-Lago. He was freaking out because he thought, oh no, I can't profit off the presidency anymore. I got to sell my horrible golf resort with the god-awful restaurant that has made headlines more times in the past few years than we can count. And none for good reason. So Trump was terrified. He thought, oh no, my whole grift is blowing up in my face. I'm going to have to sell Mar-a-Lago. I'm going to have to sell the golf course in Scotland that I just opened 4 days ago. What am I going to do? But don't worry, folks, because Josh Hawley then assured Donald Trump that no, this doesn't apply to you. You can still make all the money you want. You can sell more NFTs. You can sell more crypto. You can keep your golf courses. You're not impacted. You can still be the most corrupt human being on the planet. This is just for members of Congress. We're not allowed to trade stocks anymore. And Trump was like, okay, so I'm exonerated, is the word that Hawley used that he said Trump used. I'm exonerated. And Hawley said yes. And Trump, by the way, in the past has supported a congressional stock trading ban. So once this thing advanced out of the committee, you would think Donald Trump, with this peace of mind, knowing he doesn't have to sell his stuff and he can continue to get rich off his office, you would think he'd be happy because it's a thing he wanted. Well, no. Because even after Hawley reassured him, Trump was still freaking out because people in the White House were apparently telling him Hawley was being dishonest and you're going to have to sell your stuff. So Trump got on Truth Social, blasted Hawley as a, quote, second-tier senator. And that's where we're at now. Now, I'm not in Congress. I haven't seen the legislation. I have not read through it. I don't know if it includes the executive branch, but it should. Donald Trump is making money off the office of the presidency, and as I've said, God knows how many times now, Jimmy Carter was forced to sell his peanut farm, so he couldn't profit off his peanuts while he was president. Trump, on the other hand, keeps launching new projects while in the Oval Office. He literally spent $10 million of our tax dollars to go to Scotland to open a new golf course this past week. And he's freaking the hell out that he may have to sell those properties. And I hope he does. I hope Josh Hawley wrote this bill so poorly that it does force Trump to do these things. Not that I have any faith that it's going to pass the Senate, but it would be hilarious if Trump lost everything and then actually had to start doing the job of president. Eek. That would be a nightmare for him. Thanks for watching, everyone. We're inching closer and closer to 1 million subscribers, And we're aiming to hit that goal before the year closes. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining us as we head towards this huge milestone.